Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Rabbit Hole. I'm your host, Danny, and today I have Lee from the Daily Conspiracy Podcast. You guys already know that I go on their podcast all the time, so then today I was like, it's time. Come on over here.
Yeah,
Thanks for
and you
coming.
only got 50%. You only got
I did.
50% of
That's because
us.
Ollie
So
hates us.
yeah, he couldn't read the message to open it up. It's a shame.
That's okay. I think it'll be fine without Ollie, although he's gonna listen to this and he's gonna be sad.
He
And
is
then
going to
he's
be
gonna
sad.
leave a mean comment.
He did. He messaged me today to say that he's looking after his kids, and he said just make sure Danny knows that if I could have been on earlier, I'd have been on. So
Well, I do appreciate him. Yeah, I have. We normally record later in the day because you guys are, I don't know, the time difference. We have a good schedule where we typically record, but it just
yeah.
didn't work out today. So I appreciate you being able to come on earlier to accommodate my schedule.
Mm.
Can we start with the shooting in Australia? Because
Yeah.
we were just talking about this before the show. I haven't seen very much about that here in the US, like just on my social media feeds. I don't watch the news, so it's not like I'm like looking at the news for it.
Well, it's been pretty heavy over here in the news.
Do
Um,
you watch the news?
well, you can't. No, it's I don't like sit down at 10 o'clock and watch like whatever like prime time news channel is on. It happens to be on. But like I don't think if you're watching the like X or Instagram or something like that, you I still follow the mainstream media like channels. I still follow the BBC and follow Sky and follow CNN just to make sure I
You're up
know
to
that
date
what their
on the
lies are. Yeah.
up to date on their psyops?
Yeah, it's like if I don't follow all the mainstream media, how would I know what to be scared of?
That's a good point. Maybe I should start following them. But then again, like my whole feed, well, I have like three different Instagrams and two different TikToks. I have all these different accounts. But like my whole rabbit hole feed is just
Mhm.
conspiracies. It gets to the point where I'm like, I can't be on Instagram right now because I literally cannot see one more conspiracy before I want to gouge my eyes out of my head. Like,
I see. Apart from a Facebook, which I only have because some people want to send me like messages in Messenger, I've dumped all my social media. So the only interactions I have on social media is because I manage all the social media for the podcast. All I see is conspiracy theories. It's
yeah,
just it.
that's how my rabbit hole but my
Mm.
my like personal Instagram is happy. I see like people I know and their kids
Mm.
sometimes, or I see some happy story every now and then.
Mm.
My TikTok
See,
algorithm has not caught up with the fact that I'm a conspiracy theorist yet, though.
no, you see, the thing is, I used to be like that. I used to live in that nice fluffy world where I thought, oh yeah, it's nice to know the friends. It's nice to know what everyone else is doing. And then slowly but surely, I thought, oh, I don't need to know this. Like I'll find it much easier to like people if I don't know everything about them.
Oh, I'm a stalker. I want to know. And it's like people that I haven't interacted with for years. They probably don't even remember who I am. And I'm like, I wonder if they ever married that one guy. And then I go through, and now they have like four kids, and they're married to a different guy. It's like a whole thing. And I'm all caught up because I stalked the crap out of them. But that, I think that's the difference between a male and a female because this is typical female behavior. We're like, let me know everything
I'm
about
like,
your life, which
typical. We sure? We sure about
I, yes.
that?
I don't know. Somebody's gonna comment and be like, "Yeah, this is what females do."
I would love it if nobody commented that. I was like, no, I keep myself to myself. That's
What? Okay, firstly, you know you're on my podcast, and these people actually like me.
you
On
don't
your
read your
podcast, they
comments.
might
You
not.
don't read your own comments. I read your comments
Do you read
sometimes.
my comments? Don't do that.
Huh.
It's awful. I'm already in a funk today. I was like, today would be a good day for me to read the comments.
Yeah, it might be time to reply.
I'm not
Um,
replying to them. I would just cry in a corner.
no, most comments are good. Most of them.
Yeah, but
Some of them,
Lee, are they good or are they bad?
they're comments.
Good, good, great. This is why I don't read them.
No, they're
So I
good. Most of them are
actually
good.
I had another guest planned and I wasn't planning on having you guys on, but I have
Yeah,
to hold that episode. So now all the people get to listen to you and I ramble for an hour.
that's good. Right, Australia is
Australia. Wait,
yeah.
okay, you were saying, and I told you to stop talking because I needed to record this. You were saying that you think it is exactly what they're saying it is, which I think is bullshit.
Mm. I think. Well, see, do you know what the wild thing is um the whole like Muslim Islamic extremist thing. Like you guys in America, you guys had Islamic extremism down before it was cool. You knew exactly what was going on.
Yeah.
Now,
Before it
now
was cool,
that
before it was in your country.
yeah, and the now it's like it's a reasonable problem over here, and it's a
Welcome.
reasonable problem in Europe. Um, and you guys seem to like just it's shifted so much, and I think there is such a. I know that if you might get a break in your own comments here, 'cause I'll probably get some stick for it because I get comment stick on my own podcast for it.
Perfect. Be mean to Lee.
There's such a need for some reason on in the US right now to blame Israel for absolutely everything. It's like the Islam is a radical far right ideology. Like extreme, we joke about like far right and stuff like that, and Trump and conservatives get covered, right? But we're talking like a real hard line, like right wing ideology. Is it that fucking crazy to think those people got some guns and shot some people? Is it that
No.
crazy?
No, okay. That's not the crazy part. The crazy part is I did the Port Arthur massacre a couple while ago. I have no idea how long ago I did that. Anyway, it was like a two-parter and it was all about how they were trying to like stop guns or like put more restrictions on guns in Australia. So why can't this just be an extension of that?
I absolutely could be, and don't get me wrong.
I just don't believe any terrorist attack is actually just a terrorist attack.
Um, but that would suggest that you don't believe there's actual terrorist cells then.
That's not true. I do believe there's actual terrorist cells.
So if so, that well, they're not getting together to do coffee mornings.
But like but
It's
how
like
many of these like terrorist attacks have we proven are not? So
I
like we're
think
just
there's
gonna believe it because in Australia that it probably was just a terrorist attack.
I think there's I think there's a big machine behind this stuff. We know that, especially when it comes to gun control and stuff like that. Like gun controls are pretty tight in Australia anyway, as far as I'm concerned.
Because of the Port Arthur massacre,
Yeah.
yes.
Um,
They could be tighter because they
they
can
could be
still get
tighter.
guns.
They could be England. You know.
They're definitely not America.
No. So right, I think you're right. I think there are definitely mass shootings which are fabricated, like either completely fabricated or arranged. However, I also think if you're going to do that and you're going to go down the psyop route, then you kind of got these things planned out. So if something does happen, there's like, wow, fucking freebie guys. And then you let the shooting is a real event, and then you layer in what you would have done anyway if it had been a psyop event.
I can see that. Like like the terrorists did it and then the government's like, "Well,
Happy
we can't
accident.
yeah, we
Yeah.
can't waste a tragedy. We have to use
Hmm.
this."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. I could see that. See,
That's
I can get in on that.
yeah, that's what I think's gone on in Australia because I mean they see we have quite a lot of Australian listeners on our show, and it it feels like they've got like a terrible government. Like so sometimes it feels like the Australia's even worse off than the UK is in that regard.
Aren't their governments
And
like falling apart in Europe right now?
Europe, yeah, like the UK is they're still trucking on. They're still like lowest approval rating of any sitting government of all time, I believe. But they're still going. They're in there. They've just announced plans to that for children 11 upwards, boys 11 upwards in school. It doesn't say it, but I'm fairly sure they particularly mean white boys. That they're going to need to have anti-misogyny training
Well,
because of toxic masculinity, Danny.
you know what's happening? They're trying to make men weak. And weak men create hard times. And if they create
Hmm.
hard times, then they can usher in their new world order.
Mm.
New World Order's
I
really
think,
been on my head lately. Like I've really been like harping on this.
yeah. No, no. I'm down. It's either that or I often think to myself now, it's it doesn't even maybe it doesn't even have to go anywhere because I was listening to a load of stuff about the idea of like archons and fucking loose harvesting and all that sort of thing. And it suddenly dawned on me that all these things that kind of come in or supposed to come in, let's take like vaccine passports for instance, never really like caught on. They were kind of there for a little bit, kind of not there for a little bit, and it just disappeared.
Yeah,
Uh, it seems that all of these like psyops that happen, they never really hit the
Target.
conclusion that they're supposed to.
Hmm.
So are they not actually supposed to get to the destination? Are they just supposed to cause anxiety? Are they just supposed to cause misery, upset people, make people fight with each other, get all that negative energy out into the world so they can get
Yep,
sucked up by whatever interdimensional entities controlling, like, or
absolutely. Why
lost the
not?
controls? Yeah.
Because it works. I mean,
Hmm.
and it feels like every time everything's like going well, like people are starting to agree. They're like, "Oh, let's throw something else in there." I have a I have a theory that if they can make men weaker, they're not going to fight back.
Mm.
Like you can implement whatever you want, you can do whatever you want because like these people like when the American Revolution, you had all these people in America that were like we don't agree with this taxation type situation, so we're going to fight for our freedom. Well, if you have a bunch of weak people, they would never fight you.
Hmm.
So let's make them weaker. And I don't think it's just men. I think that they're just targeting men right now.
Mm. It's
But
it's it's interesting. I don't. I used to think like, especially around the COVID time, I thought I've got a pretty good read on what's going on here. I don't like it, but I've got a good read for it. I have no real idea now. I think any like the someone said to me the other day, it's like sometimes it's irritating being like a conspiracy theorist because it feels like most people that are into it are just arguing with each other about just how red pilled each other is. Like a competition. And
I'm more conspiratorial than you are.
yeah, yeah, and
That's a
I
good
don't think
point.
I don't think anyone's really got like a handle on what's going on now.
I think everyone wants to like point it out. Like there's something going
Mhm.
on and everybody can agree on that. But what it actually is, nobody can agree on and then people want to fight about it. And to me, I'm like, no, like tell me your perspective so maybe it can change my perspective. Like maybe
Yeah.
I have it wrong. Like I want to know all the different perspectives because that helps me draw a conclusion. Maybe it's the same one as you and maybe it's different. It doesn't matter. Like
Mhm.
I just want to know all the information.
See, I think the most interesting thing, like conspiracy wise, to come out of the Australia shooting was the um AI photographs of the that like Israeli leader guy. I can't remember what his name is now off the top of my head. There was a picture of one that supposedly sat on the ground getting like makeup done.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like people are still fighting over that being a real photo, even though the fact that the like one of the pieces of evidence for why it was real was they said it's an Australian water bottle that's on the table, and it's not. It's clearly a different water bottle than the one that they're trying to use to like confirm it's real. All the text is fucked up on his t-shirt, which is clearly like a
AI.
like an AI sign. And and also he's got jeans on where he had shorts at the shooting. You know, it's like it's clearly an AI image, but it's the first time I can think of where an important event, or at least like a obviously it's an important event, it's mass shooting. An important event has had AI images made of it, and those AI images are coloring the conversation. Like the
I don't think that's
AI,
true. I think that happened in Charlie Kirk too.
or maybe what AI we looking at for Charlie Kirk?
I mean, I don't know. I'm not as good at picking out AI images as I feel like other people are. But
Mm.
I feel like I've seen so many different things, and a lot of people said it was like holograms that wasn't actually killed. It was like holographic images and all
Mm.
this. But I think a lot of the things that we have seen, especially when it comes to like Erika Kirk, are AI images.
I think that's fair, but I think that's kind of like part of a more broader conspiracy. Whereas the and if that's something that's in, because like this is the thing with the Charlie Kirk thing. I mean, the Erica Kirk stuff is it's fucking wild. I wish more people could be where I was on that. So it's okay to think Erica Kirk's weird as fuck and Candace Owens is crazy. You know, like, I think you can exist in that place too. But the difference with this AI images is somebody has gone out of their way to create an AI image of that guy to blur this like the reality of that
Yeah.
situation. And I can't remember that happening. And that's just going to get worse. And I was saying the other day on the show, what does that do? If you look at the damage social media, or I think social media has done, I think that's the rise in like trans ideology, I'd say the culture wars in general were
Hmm.
like that were bred on social media. That's the damage that's done to this point. What damage is done to like the human psyche over the course of the next 5 years when we get into the situation where we watch anything? It doesn't matter whether people are watching your podcast, whether people are watching the news, whether people are watching sports results, and they're never quite sure if what they've seen is real.
I think
That's
that's already a
terrifying.
real concern, and it's just gonna get
Yeah.
worse.
It's terrifying.
It's gonna get way worse. Well, and then my husband's very much like he's worried about this AI thing, and we he brings it up all the time. We're constantly talking about AI, and just like the fact that they will replicate your child's voice or your child's image or whatever to try to scam you is terrifying. Like
Hmm.
so many different ways that they're trying to exploit everything that you put on the internet. How long until they exploit us? I mean, we put our voice, our likeness, that's all over the internet. We've had this
Hmm.
conversation.
I'm still convinced that that advert I heard on TikTok used your voice.
Let me see
I'm
if I can pull
convinced
that
of it.
up because
Mhm.
I don't think, I don't know.
But yeah, I'm really concerned. Like, and even well, take my son the other day. Like he saw he heard your voice because you sent me a voice message, and he'd heard me on the phone to you on loudspeaker. He said, "I know that voice because it was one of your TikToks that I'd come across."
Yeah,
And he's like, "Yeah, but she's AI, isn't she?" Like, so even a little boy there, he's getting confused at what's fucking real person and what's not.
which is going to be really hard for these kids growing up in this world because like they're going to live with it forever. Like
Mm.
we were so blessed that we did not have social media when we were young. And then now, like this next generation coming up, they have all the social media. They're like, they they don't know a world without a cell phone, right?
Mm.
And then we have the next generation after them, which is our kids, that they won't know a world without AI.
Nope. It's crazy, and it's the. I mean, I don't like you're younger than me, so were do you remember pre-internet,
Kind of.
or was it kind of internety when you like when you remember going to school and stuff?
I think I found it. Hold on. Let me see if I can make it make sound the
Because
same
like
as a real.
my school life was pretty much pre-internet. Um like my primary school didn't have a computer in it, for instance.
See, we did have computers, but we were like barely learning how to type on them. And we were learning, I guess we were learning like basic like research. Cause then once I got to high school, like we were doing most of our research on the internet. So yeah, we had it mostly growing up. Cause I remember like I went to a really poor elementary school, or one of them. I went to a lot of schools, but one of them that I went to was really poor, and we had school canceled one day because a couple people broke into our school with a butter knife to steal the computers out of the computer lab. They're like the old school Macs, like the fat ones that like
Yeah,
were
yeah,
colored.
yeah.
Yeah.
You see,
So-
that was really funny when I went to school because did you know that why all the computers had Apple computers in them? Because like over here, all schools have Apple or had Apple computers. I don't know if it's the same thing. I think it still is. And
Yeah, we did, but we don't anymore. Like now it's all changed to like Chromebooks. Like kids get, and I don't know about every school, but I know in a lot of schools, especially in Colorado, like they get given a Chromebook from like when they get there in like kindergarten, and it goes
right.
through the like primary school with them, elementary school all the way until they're done. Then they go to middle school and they get a new Chromebook, and then it stays with them until they're out of that school. Then they go to high school, same thing.
So it was like back in the 90s. I think was it like the Apple II or something like that, maybe. I'm not so there'll be an Apple fanboy out there which absolutely fixed me here. But Apple gave computers to schools. And not just like a couple of schools.
Like
It's
to
like
all of them.
here's the school, here's the computers, England. You know, like and that's why. Because like I remember when I went to secondary school was when we first started having like proper computers in like in the sort of computer lab or whatever we called it. And I remember all the way through my school life like doing stuff on Apple Macs, and then you go out into the real world and you're like, what's Windows? Because that seems to be fucking everywhere, and I've never seen it.
It's I think it's a weird transition, like Mac to Windows.
Mhm.
I don't know, but I think I mostly grew up on Windows. Because by the time I got to high school, it was all Windows computers. It was only in elementary school, which actually that's a good point because again, it was a really poor school. Like how did they afford a whole computer lab full of apples?
Yeah,
Like
getting in the door, getting people used to it, getting people used to technology, and it's I. The more I think about education and the education I had and the education I can see is it's just
indoctrination.
indoctrination. Yeah.
Hmm. This is why I'm
The
homeschooling. People
That's
think
had
I'm
that
crazy.
I had to have the conversation this morning. Do you know, like what I find weird? I apologize to your listeners as well because I think this is a bit of a jumpy around episode. But the
No, that's okay.
this morning my my son was talking. It was either this morning or yesterday, and something popped up on YouTube when we were having breakfast about the scans underneath the pyramids.
Yeah.
You know the
Hmm.
things. I'm fascinated by that. I've been watching loads of stuff on it. Apparently, the Museum of Antiquities are terrified to let anybody go in and have a look at that because they're scared that anything that could be found could point to the fact that the Egyptians didn't build pyramids.
No
That's what they're
shit.
scared of. Yeah.
Have we been saying that for years?
Yeah. So they just like, no, no, there's nothing to see here. Definitely not like 200-kilometer like things built underneath them. And I was talking to, so my son had just done here like a whole thing about Egyptology. He's at primary school, and I remember doing it as well. Like I can even remember the textbooks. I think like, well, why is that like a staple of like
Right? Like why are they pushing
Western
this so hard?
primary education?
Like
Primary education is you've got to leave school knowing what the pyramids are and where they came from. And he,
that's a
he
good
obviously said,
point.
yeah, he said, oh, yeah, well, the slaves built the pyramids. Like, I don't know. Don't know, buddy. Could have been aliens.
Could have been aliens. It could have been a number of different things.
I genuinely believe it is that if you were to sit down and you were like a smart person and not a smooth brain person like me, I think you could make a good argument that it is statistically more likely that it's aliens than slaves. The
Oh,
idea of
yeah.
slaves building the pyramids is ridiculous.
Well, the fact that we can't replicate them today, like we could not build them as clear, as precise as are built, we could not do that today.
Hmm.
And so you're going to tell me that slaves that had no technology, no machinery, no nothing, built these things to be perfect.
Mm. Do you know the other cool one? Like that rattles around my brain all the time about stuff that we've no idea how it happened, or how big it is. Is obviously we know about the catacombs in France. Yeah,
Hmm.
you know how you see the bones all stacked with each other.
Yeah.
I was watching a big thing about them, and it suddenly dawned on me, like they were taking bones down there to do that, to display. So what the reason for that is, God only knows. And then I found out there's I can't remember how many millions of people of that the estimate is the bones of what of the catacombs that are discovered down there. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like 10x the population of fucking Paris at the
Were they
time.
I don't know
So
much about the catacombs, so I can't.
there's not even an explanation of to how they had the people to get the bones.
Was it like a war or something? Like could there have
No,
been
no, it's fucking insane.
like the population was huge before it was all wiped
A
out and then started
thing,
over.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because that's the only thing that makes sense.
Hmm.
Like there have been multiple civilizations that have lived on this world before us.
Yeah, because it
Ugh.
would also make sense why they were, if something truly like tragic happened. Because that's the other wild one about the catacombs is they're not the biggest catacombs. The biggest catacombs are in Ukraine.
What the heck?
Yeah, I only found out that a few months ago.
Th-
There's so much we don't know, and we'll never know.
Well, because then I think about like all the tunnels that are all under the US and that go all under like the whole country. It's not just like one place that has tunnels. Everywhere has
Mhm.
tunnels. I don't know. I have more questions about the world. I wish we didn't have to feel like everything was being covered up all the time.
Mm. But so why then, right? Even I obviously I've been into this type of thing really in earnest ever since the internet became easily available to me.
Hmm.
I remember buying my first laptop and first getting the internet there, and like, I'm pretty sure the first thing I Google was like UFOs. I'm almost convinced of it. The
That tracks.
Yeah, and but back then it was like UFOs, awesome. Bigfoot, yeah, maybe a bit of Loch Ness monster. Definitely some fake moon landing stuff. And it was cool little pockets of stuff you could look at.
Yeah.
But it feels like you say, like we think everything's a lie now, but the reason we think everything's a lie is because it's like every other week there seems to be something else that like explodes out of nowhere. You know, be it like I mean, I don't particularly believe in the flat Earth, but like when that really started to take off and it was just everywhere, and then the mud flood thing came out of nowhere, and then that really took off, and now that's took on a life of its own.
Hmm.
um, Again, this could just be products of social media, or there's a reason why we are thinking this way and finding more stuff out now, as opposed to like where no one talked about the idea of buildings having extra layers underneath them, like 20 years ago, 30 years ago.
So why
So
would there
why?
what would be the reason that we are thinking about it now versus I mean,
Yeah,
I feel like social media is a really good excuse, but like
mhm,
what, just the mass woke up?
maybe.
Because well, and you have to think back years, like the government was the only source of information. Like what they told
Hmm.
us, we just believed. It wasn't until people started seeing the what's the word I'm looking for? Like the deceit in
Mm.
like real life, like with JFK, with I mean even the moon landing, people believe that right off the bat. Like
Yeah,
people really didn't really start questioning all these things, but then you have like the Gulf of Tonkin incident. You have all these different things that kind of line up, and then it comes out, and why people become conspiracy theorists further and further away from the events is because it comes out later like, nope, that was all fake.
yeah. Not now, not now. Like there's, like we just brought the Charlie Kirk assassination up. That went from an assassination to JFK levels of conspiracy in 48 hours.
Less than that, I would say.
Yeah.
I would say literally like in the hours. I was seeing things
Hmm.
and I stayed off social media because I was like, I think that I'm gonna give it time to be an assassination in my brain before I dive into the conspiracies. Just because I like to live in a fantasy world a little bit sometimes. But I
Unfortunately, didn't have that logic. We literally, like, he was shot and we were recording an episode like 5 minutes after it.
yeah,
That episode probably doesn't age well.
yeah, you guys were really thrown into that one. I remember messaging you about it. You're like, yeah, we had to cover it, like we were recording an
Mhm.
episode. And I was like, I'm not ready to cover it yet. And even then, like I covered it, but I need to do an update episode on it because there's so much more that's come out since then.
Where do you stand on
Like,
it?
I think he's dead.
Yeah,
I think she was involved.
Erica.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe that she was involved to the extent that everybody believes that she was involved. I I don't know if she knew that like when he was going to be assassinated. I don't think that she was involved in the planning. I think that she had prior knowledge of it. Like I stand by like I think that she was his handler the whole time.
I'm I'm not against that idea.
And then like
Like
she
the
knew eventually he's going to have to go, which is why that she was told to be his handler to begin with.
mm,
And then like she just didn't necessarily know exactly when it would be.
mm.
I don't know. There's so much about it.
I have no idea. Like, I stand by the um to me the only people that have really benefited from it is turn people certain people in Turning Point because
Mm-hmm.
it's created a huge power vacuum that somebody had to fill,
Yep.
and indirectly Candace Owens
Yeah,
because she has made bank off that.
that's true.
It's made
So I go back and forth with Candace Owens because like I don't really watch her stuff, but then also like the Shot in the Dark series makes a lot of sense. Where you're
mhm.
like vaccines are fucking people up left and right, and
Yeah,
they're completely unnecessary. But then like this whole Charlie Kirk thing, and I get it, like it was her friend, she wants to get to the bottom of it, and then all of a sudden, like with the her meeting with
see,
Erika,
I don't think it was. I
you
don't.
think it was her
I
covering
think
it
that
up to begin with?
I didn't know. I think they were friends. I think they were friends. I don't think there was a lot of contact with them.
I think they were friends when they were younger and they weren't
Mm.
huge yet.
Mm.
That's true. That's a good point because I don't know. How do you know? Like, you don't know who's like somebody's really good friend or not.
No,
Because
I
on the
just think
surface, like you and I
there's.
look like best friends because we hang out all the time publicly. Publicly,
Mhm.
like we do lives and we are on podcasts together. We spend time together. We if you
Mhm.
went through our chats, like we are really good friends. But also, I have other friends.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I
like
don't know those friends. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
like, and they have social medias, but they aren't outward, like they would never come on the podcast. That like that's just not their thing. So like you wouldn't really know those people. And maybe like and I just devil's advocate here, Candace and Charlie were really good friends and they were like really like raising through the ranks. And then they kind of separated a little bit because they were
Mm.
both doing kind of like the same thing but different things and kind of go in different directions. And then like still spending time privately together. Like,
Mm. I implore anybody to watch the interview Candace Owens did with Joe Rogan about 5 years ago,
why?
because I genuinely think she's a psychopath.
Hmm.
I don't think she's got any human emotion whatsoever. I think everything she does is Candace Owens like centric, and that's so it doesn't matter like even to the point that maybe she can convince herself of things, um, and that's just the way she works. It's the way like she sees an opportunity, be it subconsciously or consciously, and she goes with it. So you're right with the vaccine thing, like good good stuff.
Right.
Do I do I think there was any genuine empathy behind that for people? Well, no, but you uh, sometimes people can help you even if they don't care about you.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
absolutely.
So
Hmm.
yeah, so that's I think that's what it is. But uh, the
Also, psychopaths are really good at like putting off the perception that they care, that they have
mm,
empathy, right? Like it's fake empathy,
yeah,
and they're good at that.
uh, and I think it's like I think she saw a opportunity with the Charlie Kirk thing, and I think she saw the rise in the negative, like even more negative opinion of Israel because of the Israel Palestine situation, and she thought, hmm,
That's where I get
I can
weird about
farm
the
here.
whole thing. The whole thing, and it goes back to your point about the terrorism, like terrorists and all this, like it all went to Israel way too fast for it to be comfortable. Does that make
Hmm.
sense? Like,
Yeah.
like so much so that everyone, like the mainstream narrative is that Israel's behind it. And Candace Owens is pushing that. And like all these people are pushing this narrative, and you're like, wait a second. Like, why is this the comfort food that we're ingesting right now?
Mm. I find it. See the like I've
Are you drinking tea?
British.
I was gonna. I, that's all.
Even out of a teapot.
Oh my
It's
God. I would call you gay, but you're just British.
but I think maybe it's because it's right the anti-Israel, anti-Jew thing is has definitely grown in the UK at the moment. I did a interview with the other day, which for oddly the article still not come out with a Jewish author that wanted to look into the rise of like anti-Semitism within conspiracy theory and why it seems like to be such a go-to. Um, yeah, if you want comments, Danny, this is the one.
Oh, good.
But
Just what I love
um,
comments.
the I think the thing is that that's not quite as prevalent in the UK as it is in the US. And although there is a big like there's a big vocal pro-Palestine lobby in the UK as well. Like this seems to be everywhere, but it's like we have in the UK. This is where I think it's ridiculous. So if we're gonna go for like tropes, right, like Jewish tropes, like one of the biggest like stereotypes is like the want for money, you know, like the
Yeah.
want to gain money. London, so sorry, there's a vocal group that are concerned or supposedly concerned with the rise of illegal immigration into the country and like people coming into the country from France on small boats. And you'll get people turning around and saying, the Jews are paying for it. The Jews are paying for the Muslims to be shipped in to
That makes no
destroy the
sense.
UK. It doesn't because the demographic, I think London might even be minority white British now in the London capital. So and this is where the whole like it's the Jews thing falls down for me in a pretty local like somewhere quite local to me is that if you've got one of the financial capitals of the world in London and supposedly Jews are all in it for the money and all in it for the banking, yet they're willing to flood one of the financial capitals of the world with a group of people that hate them.
But also, if you're gonna
That
believe
makes
the
no
stereotype,
sense.
Jews wouldn't spend their money on something like that. Like, okay, right? Like every stereotype, there's a little bit of truth in every stereotype, which is why it becomes a stereotype. But Jews are notoriously um
Frugal.
frugal, right? So they're not
Hmm.
going to waste their money shipping Muslims into the financial capital of the world, I would say,
Hmm.
or one of
So
them.
that's
Yeah, I
it's
agree with that
just
100%.
yeah, it's just something that I think goes missed sometimes. But so
I
yeah,
think it's a scapegoat type thing for people that don't actually dive into every conspiracy.
yeah.
Like, not to say that the Jews aren't involved with all kinds of shady things. They absolutely are.
Hmm.
Um, but
But everyone is. They all
yeah,
are.
it's
So they,
not just like, and yeah, you can make connections, but I've made connections to, I mean, a bunch of people being Catholic. Candace
mm,
Owens, she's Catholic. So, like, does that mean every Catholic is bad? No, absolutely not. Every Jew is bad? No way. Absolutely not.
hmm,
Just because you make a connection doesn't necessarily mean it's correct. We're
yeah.
fucking conspiracy theorists.
Do you know what I prefer, Danny?
Like,
I like the good old days 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago, where
back in the day.
everybody, yeah, when everybody understood that in amongst every religion there is a subset of those people that present as a religion and are secretly Satanists. I
I
liked that bit.
I miss the days when people could like separate people as like individuals versus clumping everybody together all the time.
Mm,
Like every Jew in the world is bad, every Catholic, every white female,
yeah,
right? Like, okay, firstly, that's not true at all. If you've met anybody at an individual level, you either like them or you don't like them, and you have a reason
and
why.
most people are cool.
And
Most
most
people,
people
most
are.
people you meet are pretty
But
cool.
I think this is the division thing that they're trying to do because they are pushing this division thing huge right now. They're like the racist thing got really really big during COVID because of the George Floyd thing, and I mean there's just a bunch of different things, and they're like you are inherently racist. Every white person is inherently racist. I'm like, how is that even like what? How is that even a thing?
Did you see the CNN article that Sam Tripoli shared earlier today on Instagram?
No, I can't follow
I
that guy anymore. I know
I
I went
just
on his
saw the
show, but
headline.
I've got some questions. Like
That's-
I saw a post and I was like, "What the fuck? What did I just watch?" So now I I see his stuff. I'm still following him, but there are some things I'm like, I can't watch everything he puts up.
this CNN article was reparations could have saved millions of deaths during COVID-19. It's like they cracked the case, Danny. If if they'd have just given like a few $100 million to various black communities, we could have solved COVID like that.
It's just stupid. It's dumb.
It is dumb. It's and the terrifying thing about that. I mean, I read that. Some people should read that and go, "Well, that's stupid." I read that and go, "That's hilarious." Some people read that and go, "Ah,
That
interesting."
right. Okay, maybe that's what we should have done. Like that would have fixed it. I I like to like you or not like you on a personal level. I don't really care who you are. I don't care.
Mhm,
I just I think I this is gonna sound so backwards for me. I like most people just right off the bat. Like I go in
mhm.
liking people. I don't go in like I'm not. cynical about anything. I don't go in like, oh, I'm gonna hate this person. I go in like, oh, I'm gonna really get along with whoever it is that I'm meeting or whatever, right?
Mm.
And then you have to prove me wrong.
I'm really weird, you know.
You hate
I
people. That tracks.
immediately. No, well, kind of. Uh, I've always thought, people that turn around and say, I'm an empath. I've
Hmm.
always thought, no, you're a prick. But the but I now say, like, if you can get me close enough to somebody to smell them, I can tell you if they're a good person or not. And I really struggle. I really struggle
Why are
moving
you
past.
smelling people?
I just mean as in like a distance thing, not necessarily.
Okay,
I'm
you're
not.
not
I
like
can't.
actively smelling
No, not.
somebody.
No,
Well,
not
okay,
like
well, so firstly,
that.
we have never been close enough to smell each other.
No, but the luckily
So
enough,
you can't like me. So
but you
right
left
off the
that
bat,
window open once.
yeah, typically in the summertime. You always have to make some weird joke. Every single time. We can't get out of a conversation without you making some weird joke.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Jokes. It's definitely jokes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, like, I really struggle with it. Like if I meet someone and go, I'm not sure about you, I rarely change my mind.
I have a really hard time trusting my gut. Like there will be people where I'm like, I don't like that person, but I don't have a reason not to like them. And so
Mm.
then I'm
They're
like,
poking the eyes out of like dogs and stuff. And you're
no,
like, oh, they're
like
probably fine.
they seem fine, right? Like there's something about them, like everything seems good on the outside. But and everybody says, "Well, trust your gut." And I'm like, "Well, if everybody else around me seems to like this person, why do I get this weird feeling?" So then like that's where I have a really hard time. Like I'll still be around them because I'm like they haven't done anything that's bad necessarily, but I just don't get a good feeling from this person.
Mm.
And I can normally tell pretty quick.
I can tell in seconds, seconds
Like
whether.
we had a friend group and we kind of all like went our separate ways now, but and there was this guy rightfully named Jake the Snake. And I don't know, like they didn't call him that, but I called him
Mm.
that. And I was like, I don't like this guy. And my husband's like, why? Like, he's fine. He's fun. We all hang out together. He's always a good time. I'm
He had
like,
a really
okay.
weird surname.
Like that wasn't actually I just called him that. So but and I would only call him that in private to Taylor to like identify this person. I was like, "Oh yeah, Jake the Snake." And he's like, "He's fine. He's like a fine guy." I'm like, "I don't know. I just don't like him." Well, then Taylor did one job with him cuz he kind of like jumps around. Like he does odd jobs, let's just say.
Hmm.
And so he did this job with this guy and he was like, "No, he got like really angry." Like flew off the seat of his pants, like really, really, really mad at the customer, and then like left the job site. Like screamed at the customer, left the job site. And I was like, I knew something was weird with that guy. Next time we saw him, he was totally fine again. Like everything's good. And
Mm.
nothing like that ever happened again, but I was like, no, something's weird with that guy.
Yeah, so there's some off.
Yeah.
That's how
So
I feel about Candace Owens.
do you think she's a robot?
I don't. It's just
There's
something
some robotic
off.
tendencies about her.
Well, I mean, I think that's probably why I'm going like psychopath. But there isn't it. It's there's something waxy about her, isn't there? Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you like a living waxwork.
Okay, but never mind. I'm not going to say that out loud. I'm not going to say it out loud.
What?
I'm
It's
gonna have
okay.
to
It's
edit
just.
this part out. It's just us. It's just me and you. They say black don't crack. Maybe she just has really good skin.
I I didn't I didn't necessarily mean looks. I just meant there's just something. Yeah, I don't know.
Do you see
It's
emotion in her eyes?
no, the dead, the dead.
But what about her kids? Like she's got 3 kids. She's
A
married to a
psychopath.
British guy.
Yeah, he deserves some fucking medals. Um,
Maybe they love each other. Somebody was married to you at some point. That's not true,
yeah,
actually.
the they, thanks, Danny. Oh, really crack yourself up, don't you? Look at the state of it. Jesus Christ. Oh, I hope people are watching this. I hope people are watching the joy of Danny pointing out the fact that
I
I've
didn't even
split
mean,
up.
so I didn't make that joke on purpose. It literally came out, and then I realized how funny it was afterwards, which was good. I needed this laugh. I've been in a funk all day. I'm gonna cry a little bit. I'm laughing so hard.
Turn purple.
It was so funny. I didn't, it wasn't on purpose either. It was just an accident.
That's it. It's always totally cool when people really tell you how funny they are. It's like one of the coolest things people can do.
Well, I'm not funny. That's the thing. I'm not funny at all. You want to know how I know I'm not funny? When I was in the Navy, we
No, you send me voice messages all the time. I know you're not funny.
exactly. So you already know. No, the day that I found out I was not funny, we were in the van. We had like we were on our way to work and we were on deployment, whatever. So we were all in the van and they were all like joking around and everybody was like adding on, like making it funnier and funnier. Then I added something on and everybody got quiet and nobody laughed. And I was like, oh no. And then
Oh.
somebody else said something like break the tension because now it's like really awkward. And then they all started laughing again. And I was like, I don't think I'm funny. Like I think I'm really not funny.
No, I think that might have been a special type of funny because there's there's levels of my funny because I think I can be pretty funny, but I have a general general admission funny, and then
Yeah.
I have like a secret funny which is really pretty low down towards the gutter funny.
After that, I decided that I shouldn't make any jokes. I shouldn't even try to be funny. So I crack myself up, but like I don't try because I'm not funny. Just like I know I can't sing, so like I would never try to sing.
So right, to get this back in some
Sorry.
sort of no, it's your podcast. To get this
It
back
is
into
my
some sort
podcast.
of
Normally I'm fucking up your podcast.
I know the if right. So if the Charlie Kirk assassination was an inside job thing, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely,
Um.
100%. But why? Why did they
So
kill him?
exactly right. Who benefits? So that's one thing. I don't think Israel benefit. People are saying that he was turning on Israel and stuff like that. I don't.
The
I,
only
I
thing that
don't. I
like
just don't buy it.
makes the most sense to me that I've seen is that he was going to reveal that Jeffrey Epstein's still alive, living in Israel. That's the only thing. And I'm like, okay, well, yeah, we already knew that.
Mm. See, if Epstein's alive, I don't believe he's in Israel,
I don't think he's in Israel. I think he's living on an island somewhere.
an island somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think he's got like a nonstop supply of children. I didn't want to say it out loud, but I was like, I can't, and like I can't leave it there.
Yeah. You could have said stuff, but yeah, no, I think you're right. I think
Yeah,
it's one of the reasons I've I think it did I said this on our hangout, didn't I, on your show when we did the live stream? It was when I really sort of realized, oh fuck, nothing's gonna change. Like there was a brief moment of hope there. We thought Epstein stuff was going to be released. We thought there would be
yeah.
more spicier side of JFK stuff was going to be released.
And then nothing came out, or everything that did come out was redacted, so you can't actually read
Yeah,
anything. Yeah,
yeah, and but it was more the fact that when nobody started to ask the questions of, right, the Epstein Islands has stopped now. We need to look for what other sites were operating within this network. Nobody's ever even suggested that there was another island or another town or
or
an
that it all
underground thing.
transferred to somebody else. No, they hid
Yeah.
it because they don't want you to know. They're
Hmm.
actively trying to cover it up.
Yeah.
But you know,
I think
we are
I
the
think it's
crazy
Cabin in the
ones.
Woods. I think it's Cabin in the Woods.
I've never seen that.
Have you
That's
not
a
seen it?
scary.
Right.
Isn't it a scary movie? You think I'm gonna watch a
Not
scary movie?
no, it's not really. It's kind of it because there's a little bit of comedy in it as well. But are you going to
Is it
watch it?
mostly scary?
Um,
I'm not watching it. Go ahead, spoil it.
right. Quick synopsis for Cabin in the Woods. It is half teen slasher film, half Hunger Games, half like demonic New World Order
Hmm.
conspiracy. I
So I should
realize
watch it.
that's I realize that's three halves.
Yeah,
And
well, it's a
so
third and a third and a third.
kids go to cabin, bad shit goes in cabin, but like in a Truman Show-esque way, the bad things that happen in the cabin aren't just like zombies attacking. There's people sending the zombies in, like send the zombies
Like
there.
Hunger
You
Games.
need a werewolf over
Yeah.
there. Yeah, that type of thing. And it gets to the end, these people are killed and stuff like that. One of them says why, and this is proper roundup stuff. I miss it. If there's any Cabin in the Woods fucking fans out there, I'm sorry if I've fucking not done this justice. And at the very end, when I think one of the girls is a virgin, and I think that's who's got to die, and I think she doesn't die, and then the whole fucking place starts falling apart because they didn't want to do this, but they had to keep doing it. They've been doing it for centuries to appease what, like, fucking whatever god it was they were appeasing.
You brought this up one time and it
Yeah.
blew my mind.
Yeah, it's because I'm fucking brilliant.
You're not that smart. But it really hit me because you're like, what if they're doing this because they have to?
Yeah.
Is this where you got this idea? Is this movie? You gotta
No,
stop
actually,
watching
I,
movies.
I said it on a podcast and someone else said that's a little bit like Cabin in the Woods, and I went to watch Cabin in the Woods.
Oh,
Mm.
that's crazy.
Could be
So
though.
what
Like
was it
that's
though?
what
What was the thing that
I
they
think it
were
was like it was like Satanism essentially. That was kind of where it was pointed towards. It was that they were getting sacrificing towards some sort of dark lord because otherwise he'd fuck shit up.
Do you think that that's what's happening?
I think it was weird. Like, I can't remember what I was watching or listening to the other day, and somebody pointed out that at some point we in literature we got bashful about using the word children when it comes to sacrifice, and we started replacing the word sacrifice. We started replacing the word child or children with virgin or virgins. And every time you hear of like it has to be a virgin sacrifice, they mean a child. That blew my mind because I thought,
Maybe it's the
fuck.
innocence of it.
Regardless of what it is, what it meant is in my head, it's like, well, it's just doubled the amount of like child sacrifice stuff there is out there. Do you know what I mean? If you
Yeah.
take it that because if you say, oh, a virgin must be sacrificed to the monster that's outside the cave, your mind's instantly a 20-year-old girl chained to a fucking like piece of wood, like in a white dress, isn't it?
Yeah.
But if you then swap that over and go, fuck, they were sacrificing children to whatever was in that cave. There has to be like
Hmm.
there. There is a um there is a natural instinct. I'm not saying everyone has this instinct. But I think the reason child killers are so repugnant to us is because the it goes against what most of us feel. Do you know what I mean? Like most, especially as parents, what most of us feel in here. Um, I know people bring wars up and things like that. Horrible. It's the idea of places getting blitzed and stuff like that. I don't think, although horrific, I think you can use a different mentality to that because no one's really in control. Do you know what I mean? Like if you're signaling a drone strike, I think it's a lot easier to press a button that sends drones out to a place that you'll never see before on it. Like, and to see even including footage of buildings blown up that you don't even really need to watch if you don't want to.
Right.
There it's a harsher mentality when you read the stories about, they'd have the big bronze statue of Baal where the stomach would open up and they'd put children inside the stomach, close it up, and then set fire around it so they'd cook inside it. And the
Yeah.
reason that they used to bang drums and stuff like that was because it was to drown the screaming out, so so the parents and the other adults couldn't hear the children
Hmm.
during the ceremonies. The fact that they were drowning the screaming out means that they didn't want they wanted some separation from what they were doing.
Yeah. It's like that guilt.
Yeah. So that's
But even like
like this.
you brought up war, and like when you think about war, like typically, like it's hard anyway because it's war. But like you have a
Mhm.
grown man killing another grown man, you're like those are two grown men making a decision to do that
Yeah.
or following orders to do that. But when you include children, that's when people get so mad. That's when people are
Mm.
like you're killing children. Like and people start like that's where like there's a clear line.
Hmm.
So like at any point, like you have somebody that's like murdering people, there's like going on a
Yeah.
killing spree, and then they kill a child, you're like, ooh, that's the line.
Yeah. But we've got like we've got human sacrifice like this documented for thousands of years. Um, why do we think it stopped?
We it didn't stop. It just went
Exactly.
into like hiding.
Yeah. So it almost seems if you're doing something for so long, right? It at some point somebody would say no. Somebody would know somebody has not done something, yeah? And then let's say it's the big bronze statue. We're there, where every fucking 3 weeks or whatever it is, we need to cook a load of kids. It's just what we do around here. There's no televisions. At some point in that history that they wouldn't have done it, something would have happened. Like that, even if it was technical issues with what they were doing, it rained so hard you couldn't light the fire, something like that,
Yeah.
and they'd have woke up the next day and gone, nothing happened. We've
Then they
been
would never
killing
do
all
it
these
again.
kids. We're killing all these kids for no reason. The only reason you continue to do it is if there was some tangible thing that happened. You would need feed because it's such an extreme act. You would have to have. You couldn't just do it on hearsay and promise.
But what is it? That's
I
the
don't
thing.
know.
So I'm about to say something that's gonna get me in trouble. It could make child sacrifice in my brain make more sense if there was a reason.
Mm.
But for us, there's no reason. Like to your point, for centuries, and they were killing kids, right? And they were sacrificing these
Yeah.
kids, something bad would happen, and they saw it. Everyone saw what happened. Well,
Mm.
on the flip side of that, right now, they're still sacrificing children in terrible ways, and
Yeah.
there's no like they've never stopped. If they would stop, then we would know what would happen.
Mm.
But
And see, that's the thing.
like
I
to us,
think
we're like they're doing it for no reason.
that separates the war thing as well, doesn't it? Because in most situations, like in war, like regardless, or even if it's not like a huge war and just like smaller domestic skirmishes, the reason it happens is because you see those people over there. It's like, yeah, well, if we don't fuck them up, they're gonna fuck us up. So we need to fuck them up first.
Right.
So there's a reason to do it.
Mm-hmm.
There is no reason for human sacrifice past, well, but as far as we're concerned, past folklore and fucking magic. So
Right.
there has to be something. There has to be something that backed up that idea. And if it backed it up 1,000 years ago or a few hundred years ago, I think there must be some reason that people are doing it now, and there must be some tangible benefit to doing it.
You're trying to sell the story that the people that are sacrificing children now are doing it for the benefit of the world. Like they're doing us a favor.
No, no, I'm trying. Maybe, but what I'm trying to say is that I don't think they're just doing it because it's like a fundamental evil thing, even if it's not something that benefits humanity. Say it's just something that benefits them. Say like they like they
That's where it comes
fucking
back to the Satanism thing.
yeah, yeah. So say they kill like 1,000, they get a free coupon to go and speak to the fucking astral realm. But and then they can bring something back, and all of a sudden we've got Facebook. Um, like so the that could be a thing too. The I don't know if it's just it's fucking wild to me, and I think the unfortunately there was a load of stuff done in the like during lockdowns with like you had those documentaries like what was it called? What was the big Pizzagate documentary that came out? The lady died, didn't she? Though she was in the middle of making part two, and she was like, I think
I
she
don't
was
even know what
murdered.
you're talking about.
Oh, what
I
was
watched
it
a documentary on
called?
Rumble that really fucked me up about Pizzagate.
Might be that one. Did it have like a quite a posh female voice narrating it?
No,
God, was it Out of Shadows? Was that what it was called? I think it might have been called Out of Shadows. Something like that. There was a couple at the time, like around that sort of lockdown time that came out. They were really good, and people were really talking about this. And then the Epstein thing broke. I thought, wow, now we're getting something somewhere. And ever since then, it has been psyop after psyop after drama after war. And yeah, I'm convinced there was an oh shit button pressed at some point because of that.
because we were getting too close to the truth,
Because people were talking about it. Yeah,
but people haven't stopped talking about it.
I think they have. I think not to the same level as it was. There was a time
That's
where
true. There's like
Pizzagate was flat Earth. It was Tartaria. It was
that's true.
the
I think that
thing.
Pizzagate has like almost like gone away. People don't even talk
Yep.
about Pizzagate. They're like
Hmm.
like it never even happened. That's a good
Yeah.
point. Yeah, I guess to me like it was so impactful like doing the research and learning all this stuff like
Same.
it
Yeah.
impacted me so deeply that I'm like how would anybody ever forget about all these children being sacrificed and Wayfair which I haven't covered but I know like I'm going to cover it soon because I like hate myself. But
Hmm.
like to me it hit me so deep that I'm like how could anybody stop talking about this, but also on the same coin that's why people stop talking about it
Yeah.
because
I
it's
think so.
so fucked.
That's the reason. Like, it basically changed our podcast, Pizzagate, because I was getting into all this stuff. I was doing all like I say research. I don't. Sometimes when I turn around and say I was researching it, I feel like a fraud because I wasn't sat in a library poring over ancient volumes in different languages. I was watching some fucking videos on BitChute.
I mean
The
what would you call what I research, what would you call what I'm doing?
you've
Shoot.
got a slave to do yours now, haven't
No,
you?
I do not. Firstly, she does some of them. She does some of them for sure. I'm not taking any credit away from her. She is fantastic, not my slave. And she listens to this and she laughed the last time you said this. So I'm hoping that she's going to laugh again. No, I still, first, okay. Also, she's new to the team. So I've been doing the research for this whole thing for most of the time. She does a
So like
fantastic job. I'm not trying to take anything away from her. She does great.
that puts
You really
your
offended me.
sanity. No, but that puts your sanity in a very questionable position because before she joined Danny, it was just you,
It
and
was just me.
you just referred to her as being new to the team.
She is new to the team. Oh, oh shit. We are a team now, her and me. She counts as part of the team. Before it was just me by myself. A team. All my personalities in one go. Here we go. No, Taylor, I think Taylor counts.
It
I
does
think he
now
counts.
because otherwise you're a psychopath.
Well, we
Um,
already knew that was happening. We already knew I was going insane.
yeah, well, like we ended up. I was looking into all this stuff, and Ollie, who's the co-host on the show, I was like, this is like because we were called Alien Addict back then,
And you had
and
another person.
I had another person. We had Dave, and we were like, look, we need to talk about other stuff, and we dragged Ollie kicking and screaming, changed the name of the podcast.
That's because Ollie's obsessed with aliens.
He is, but to be fair for him, he's hit a rich vein of aliens at the minute, hasn't he? We haven't been able to get away from it like lately. It's just
Good for
UFOs
him.
here and fucking AI Atlas there. So it's closest
I bet
approach
he's
now, isn't
happy.
it?
I bet
He
he's
is
pretty
pretty
happy.
happy. But it's on its closest approach, that AI a 3i Atlas now, isn't it?
Yeah.
God, I hope
You
that
haven't even said
stops.
anything bad about Ollie this whole podcast.
I said he couldn't read to start with. I mean, that's
We
just a
we know
fact.
that's not true though. He can read. I mean, I'm pretty sure he can read. He can read a little bit.
Oh,
I'm
I mean,
I'm gonna send him
warning
a message
signs.
and and see if he can read it.
Like warning signs, speed limits, that sort of
Mm.
stuff. Like what he needs to function in the world with. Yeah, I think he fakes it.
His insanity?
No, it's like his dyslexia, because like his level of dyslexia seems to uh expand exponentially
So
when
firstly, you did not start with he has dyslexia.
yeah, he's retarded.
That doesn't make him retarded. That makes Oh my God.
You said I'd be speaking too nice to him.
I just happened to notice that you haven't made a jab at Ollie this whole time. Except he didn't come
um,
on the podcast, so
yeah, no, it seems to get worse when it involves me doing something for the podcast. Like he's like, oh, couldn't possibly read that. Right, okay.
but he does research sometimes.
No,
When
he
it comes
does.
to
He's good.
aliens,
No, he's great. Ollie's my boy.
well, that's good because uh I don't know what you would do without him.
I don't know what to do without him either.
I think you guys are two peas in a pod.
Mm.
Okay, Lee, it's been past time. So don't tell me. I know where I can find you. You tell everybody else where they can find you.
If you want to come and listen to me talk about more conspiracy type stuff, you can find us everywhere you find the podcast things at the Daily Conspiracy Podcast. We are the Daily Con Pod, which every time I say it is more and more awkward. But yeah, we are at the Daily Con Pod on all of the social medias. You can find us on Rumble as well. And if the wind is in our direction, and we can be bothered with the amount of bloody folks copyright strikes and stuff we get on YouTube, we might even start putting our stuff back on YouTube soon.
I can add you as a collaborator now on YouTube. I
Can you?
learned that. Yeah.
You don't want that. You don't want that heat.
Well, a lot of people will message me and be like, I listened to you on the Daily Conspiracy podcast, and that's how I found your podcast.
That's good.
So,
I'm glad about that.
yeah, they clearly like you.
They should.
But, all right, well, until next week, my friends, stay skeptical, and we'll see you all then. Hey friends, The Rabbit Hole is an independent podcast written, hosted, and produced by me, Danny Mercy. Special thanks to Lindsay for research and writing. If you love the podcast, please leave us a 5-star rating and review wherever you're listening. Follow us on social media at rabbit.holepodcast and visit our website at stayskeptical.com for everything else.